It's honestly amazing how many roots we've managed to get with this new method. Today I'm going to show you a rooting technique you won't find anywhere else. It's completely new and really simple, and best of all, it truly works. And if you've already tried other methods without getting good results, stay with me, because we're going to clone your fruit trees, your garden trees, and all kinds of plants step by step, using only materials that everyone already has at home. So pay close attention because we're getting started. For this method, we only need a few materials and they're all super easy to find. The first thing we'll need is sand. It can be river sand, beach sand, silica sand, or even construction sand. All of these types of sand work perfectly for this method. We'll also need about 2 aloe vera leaves per jar if the leaves are medium-sized. And if they're large, just 1 leaf is enough. We'll also use ground cinnamon, just a pinch for the mixture and a bit more to cover every fresh cut on the stem, because it works as a natural preventive and is essential in this closed system. We'll also need a knife or a cutter to prepare the cuttings and to remove the aloe pulp, plus a container where we'll mix the sand with the aloe and the cinnamon, blending everything together directly with our hands. And we'll need 3 glass jars with lids, without holes, because the lid is crucial for keeping the internal humidity constant during the whole process. Finally, we'll need 3 cuttings, 1 from a lemon tree, 1 from an avocado tree, and 1 from a fig tree. And it's very important that the cutting size matches the size of the jar. For example, if the jar is about 6 inches tall, the cutting should be around 4 inches so it fits properly. The first thing we're going to do is wash the sand. Washing the sand is really simple. Place the amount you need in a bucket, add water, stir it around, and rinse until the water runs completely clear. Once the water comes out clean, it means the sand is free of dust, salts, and organic debris. When it's nicely washed, the next step is disinfecting it. To disinfect the sand, we're going to use hydrogen peroxide. Add about 1 bottle cap, like the cap from a soda bottle, into the bucket and mix everything well. Let the sand rest in the shade for a couple of hours. That time is enough for the hydrogen peroxide to eliminate any remaining pathogens. After those 2 hours, drain all the water and spread the sand out on a plastic sheet in the sun. The sunlight will finish disinfecting it and will dry it completely. When the sand is clean, dry, and light in color, it's ready to use. Now we're going to prepare the aloe vera. Since we need 2 leaves per jar and we're using 3 jars, we'll collect 6 leaves in total, so we have the perfect amount of pulp for our substrate. Cut the leaves at the base, and once you have them, simply peel them with a knife, and use a spoon to scoop out all the pulp inside. When you remove the pulp, cut it into pieces as small as possible so it mixes well with the sand later. Once it's ready, set the pulp aside, and now we can move on to preparing the cuttings. We have 1 lemon cutting, 1 avocado cutting, and 1 fig cutting. Before placing them in the jars, we need to adjust their length to match the size of the container. If the jar is about 6 inches tall, the cutting should be roughly 4 inches, so there's enough room for the substrate and so the cutting doesn't touch the lid. Once they're trimmed to size, we're going to apply ground cinnamon to every cut, the bottom cut, the top cut if there is one, and any side cuts where we've removed leaves. Cinnamon is essential because it prevents fungus and bacteria inside the closed jar. Now with the sand dry and disinfected and the aloe pulp ready, we can prepare the substrate. Place the sand in a container and add all the aloe pulp we extracted. Add a small pinch of cinnamon and start mixing it all together with your hands. The texture should feel moist even, and a bit pasty, never liquid. Now fill each jar with about 2 inches of this mixture, roughly the equivalent of a cup. Then place the cutting inside, making sure the fresh wound is fully buried in the mix, and close the jar with its lid. With that, we've created a small sealed microenvironment where humidity will stay constant. Before moving on to maintenance, we need to choose the right place to keep the jars, because this is also key to the method's success. We don't want a spot with direct sunlight because the closed jar acts like a mini greenhouse, and direct sun could overheat the inside, stress the cutting, or even damage it. So look for a cool place with good light but no direct sun exposure. Now let's move on to maintenance, which is essential for this method to work properly. We're going to prepare a natural preventive treatment that we've used many times because it gives amazing results. In 1 liter of water, add a pinch of ground cinnamon, mix it well, and once it's completely blended, strain it through a fine cloth or a coffee filter to remove any solid bits. Then pour it into a spray bottle. With this natural fungicide, we're going to lightly mist the inside of the jar and the surface of the cutting. We'll do this every 3 or 4 days. Open the jar for just a few seconds to let some fresh air in and use that moment to apply the spray. Besides adding a bit of hydration, this treatment prevents fungus from developing inside the jar, which is essential in a sealed, high humidity environment. As we always say, cinnamon is fundamental in this method, and if you want to give the process an extra boost, you can do it during the waning moon. According to traditional field experience, during the waning moon, the plant sap tends to move downward toward the base, which strongly encourages the formation of new roots. It's not required, but if it happens to line up with your timing, you'll likely get even better results. And now comes the most exciting part. After about 4 or 5 weeks, most cuttings start showing results like this. If you look at the bottom of the jar, you can already see the first white roots poking through, looking for space to keep growing. That tells us the method worked and the cutting is ready to be transplanted. It's truly impressive that such a simple and natural process gives such clear, visible results. And on this channel, that's exactly what we want, showing you methods that really work so you can achieve the same kind of success with your own propagations. If you made it this far, thank you so much. And if you like this method and found the results helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you gave the video a like and shared it with people who love plants. And if you can leave a comment, that helps us a lot to keep bringing you methods like this and to keep sharing secrets that almost nobody explains. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.